and sisters, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lisa. I'm founder of Anaministry, and today we will be covering commandment number 10, thou shalt not covet. Exodus 20:17 reads, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything that is your neighbor's. So with that said, let's get started on our first case. Today, we will be talking about Chris Watts and his wife, Shanann. Chris and Shanann met on Facebook via a friend request. And after some time of courting, they eventually got married and moved to Frederick, Colorado in 2012.
Well, one thing led to another, and he's the best thing that has ever happened to me. And because of my health challenges, because I got so sick, I let him in.
So as you can see, Shanann was very happy and always made social media posts about Chris and their two daughters, 3-year-old Celeste and 4-year-old Bella. Now, despite how blissful their marriage may have seemed on social media, Chris was hiding a dark secret. Chris was having an affair with his co-worker, Nichol Kessinger. Chris and Nicole met at an oil and gas company called Anadarko Petroleum. When they first met, Chris stated that Nicole knew that he was married. He said she saw pictures of Shanann on his lock screen on his phone and saw pictures of his daughters. Nevertheless, the affair began in June of 2018 and lasted about 5 weeks before Chris's whole family completely vanished. It all started on Monday morning of August 13, 2018. It was 1:48 a.m. The neighbor's security camera picked up Shanann coming home from a work trip. At 5:17 a.m., the same security camera picked up Watts backing up his truck to his garage, loading it with some tools, and then leaving. Thankfully, Shanann's friend is very alert, and she knew that Shanann had a doctor's appointment that next morning. But she realized Shanann wasn't returning her calls or her texts, so she grew concerned. And actually, it was Shanann's friend, Atkinson, that called the police.
All County Communications, this is Stacy.
Hi, Stacey. My name's Nicole, and I'm calling because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. I dropped her off at her house at 2 in the morning last night because we were out of town together, and we were on the way back from the airport, and she was having issues, and she's pregnant, and I haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning, and I've gone to her house, and her car's there, and stuff like that, but she won't answer the door, she won't answer phone calls, she won't answer text messages.
It wasn't long before the news broke out that Shanann and her two daughters went missing. The very next day, on August 14th, the Colorado Bureau of Investigation and the FBI put out a missing persons alert for Shanann and their two daughters.
Busy Tuesday, another developing story that we're following for you. Police looking for a pregnant Frederick woman and her two children who have seemingly vanished without a trace.
Shanann Watts and her two young daughters have not been seen since early yesterday morning.
They're doing their best right now to figure out if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere.
On Monday night, Christopher Watts couldn't sleep.
No, I wasn't gonna kiss him to bed tonight. That's why last night was just horrible.
His pregnant wife Shanann and two daughters Celeste and Bella went missing early Monday morning after Shanann came home from a business trip in Arizona.
I left around 5:15. She was still here.
Christopher tried calling her phone several times throughout the day with no answer, but when he got home on Monday, her purse, keys, and phone was left in the house.
Did you guys get into an argument before she left?
It wasn't like an argument. We had an emotional conversation, but I'll leave it at that. But I just want them back. I just want them to come back, and if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Somebody has to come forward.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen people act way more desperate after losing their cell phones. And here we have a man whose entire family is missing, and he doesn't seem too desperate to find them. Now, here's something that too many people don't know, but while he was being interviewed at his neighbor's house, the TV was on and a commercial of a fetus appeared on the TV screen. Watts looks at the officer and then states that Shanann is pregnant.
She's pregnant as well.
How far along?
14, 15 weeks.
Yes, all this while Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant with a boy they were going to name Nico. And the next commercial is even more eerily coincidental to this whole case, because it is a skull with oil coming out of it. Chris is suspect number 1 due to all the evidence that's piling up against him and with the security cams. On August 16th, Chris admits to murdering his family. He was denied bail, but while he was in jail, he confessed to where he placed the bodies. He placed his 2 daughters in the same oil field where he worked. They were in oil tanks submerged in oil, and his wife was in a shallow grave. Proverbs 2:18-19 reads, "Her house sinks down to death, and her path leads to the grave. None who go to her come back, nor do they regain the paths of life." The destructive nature of this sin, coveting a neighbor's spouse, leads one to walk hand in hand with death. It can be a gradual descent or a sudden end. It's irreversible once you're there. And if you continue in this sin, the Bible warns us the devastating consequences. None who go to her come back, nor do they regain the paths of their life. This is why God commands that you should not covet your neighbor's spouse. All it took was 5 weeks for all of this to unfold, from June to August. When you are playing with someone's spouse, you are playing with your life. Marriage is a divine institution, and it matters so much to God that He called us, the church, the bride of Christ. God says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church." That means that God's standard for marriage is on the same level as Jesus loving the church. So when you are coveting a neighbor's spouse, you are breaking into a covenant that is on the same level as God's love for us. Understand the magnitude of that. If anyone is involved with a married person, get rid of that situation immediately before you become the next Nichol Kessinger. I mean, let's face it, I know being alone sucks. Loneliness gets the best of us. But I can guarantee you that Nichol Kessinger's curse is a lifetime of loneliness. The very thing she was trying to avoid has now become her destiny. Chris Watts fell into the trap, but while he's paying for his sins behind bars, Nichol Kessinger is a prisoner of her mind. She will never have a normal life. Ever since Chris confessed to the murders, Nichol has had to delete all her social media, quit her job, and move away from her community. She is now currently placed in a witness protection program. And recently, I heard she tried to get a name change. But of course, that information is sealed and protected, as she is America's most hated woman. If you Google Nichol Kessinger, all you will see are articles about the murder of 2 little girls and a pregnant wife, all because of her. Now imagine your life accomplishments and your identity being overridden by one sexual relationship with a married person. That is the reality of Nichol Kessinger. Chris Watts is serving 5 life sentences plus 48 years without the possibility of parole. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification so you know when my next video will be up. And God bless you.